Oh man. Okay, y'all. Man, I am so sorry that we got cut off by by YouTube. I mean, I get it. That's just kind of how it goes. Like I said, man, you don't want those copyright strikes against your account, so I had to pause everything that I had going on and just take in the Apple event. So we are here, we are back, and I've watched it all. And man, I'm hyped. I was very frustrated. Let me see if I can jump in and see if everybody. Uh, yeah. Let me get the comments going. Sorry, y'all. It all right. Let me get it popping. There we go. All right. Damn. Are we back? So who's back with me? Yo. All right. Like I said, YouTube gave me a copyright strike for I guess replaying a live video. So I guess that's not what you should do. We'll have to figure out if there's any other ways for us to. We'll have to figure out if there's any other ways for us to to do live things from like Apple like that again. Because I was hyped, I was frustrated, and I had to get past the frustrations and move forward. But I didn't want to leave y'all out here hanging. Thank you all for coming back. For everybody who's jumped back in, yo, I truly appreciate it. Let me see who's back popping. Yo, oh man, who's hype? Who's hyped though? Like the new iPad Pro 2020. I don't even need these anymore. Hold on. Yo, the new iPad Pro 2020 is insane. The new iMac, the new AirTags, right? The purple iPhone. What else we got going on, right? We got the iMac 24 looked crazy with the new M1 processor, right? We have the new iPad Pro, right? With everything that I was hoping for, they touched on everything to the all white new Magic Keyboard. I don't know if y'all caught that, but it was a lot going on today with Apple. So let me say what's up to everybody. Sandra Rust, what's up? Natasha, what's going on? Exit, what's up? Love Deluxe, what's going on? Carlos, Darnell, follow Don, Tim C. Thank you all for coming back. Man, Ernice, wow. Let's talk about this new iPad Pro and let's figure out which iPad is for who, right? Because now we have so many to choose from. Um, Man, yeah, hey, JCU, yo, I think the yeah, they could have done the navy blue on the that keyboard because I don't know this Apple keyboard right here that we have this Magic keyboard, it's it's dope, but it gets dirty so quick, and for it to be in white, whoo, I don't know how that's if it's the same material, I would hate to see what it looks like in 2-3 months. So I don't know. But yo, let's break down. Yo, Jahari, Bahupin, Jesus Movement. Man, there's so many. Um, so no, there was not a new MacBook launched. It was all about the AirTags. It was all about the purple new iPhone 12. It was all about the new iMac 24. Of course, the new iPad Pro 2021. And let's talk about this. Man, let's go through. Let me see if Apple is allowing us to look at some of what they have going on now. Nope. Okay. Yes. All right. Let's look at this new iPad Pro and let's see what we got. So now we have the new iPad Pro, and man, it's the only thing about today's event that I was like, damn, was the new iPad Pro 2021 with the mini LED is on with the new mini LED display is only for the 12.9 iPad Pro, right? Let me say that again. The new iPad Pros, the new screen technology they have going on with the mini LED XDR, what they're calling liquid Retina XDR, is only for the 12.9 version. So it's really driving me to go big again. I don't know. The price points are still the same, so I really like what's going on. Let's look at this new iPad Pro. So right, we have man, the fact that it has the new M1 chip, is insane, right? Because man, what are we getting? We're getting incredible performance. And man, we're getting already this new technology in their display, which is mini LED, which they're calling XDR liquid retina, which will give you, like, for us that are, color grading, for photographers, for those who need very precision based, like, ways for you to edit your colors and the way that you're looking at your screen, even those who really want to have an immersive experience watching TV and doing things, or watching shows and things like that. Yo, yeah, that screen is going to be insane. Let me go to the comments and let me see. Um, Man, I hate that they didn't have it at an 11. Because I use the 11. I love the 11. I love the portability. And man, it's let's see here. Yeah, it's really up to the developers to make, you know, um, to make this thing happen. But what I did see, I don't know who caught it, but sorry. Uh, Oops, my bad. My comment. There we go. I don't know if y'all did see that, but it looked like Lumafusion had an upgrade that on the screen. If you go back and look, it was a new version of Lumafusion that looked pretty incredible. We'll have to wait to see what they're working on. But man, I'm telling you, this new M1 with inside the iPad Pro is going to give us so much more power. And I think we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for these bigger apps from Apple. The fact that they put the M1 in is definitely letting me know that they're going to have to bring these pro features, these pro apps, probably during WWDC. The first thing that they're doing is, getting that hardware together. They got the new M1, they got the new updated screen on the 12.9-inch version, right? Um, and you can go up to 2 terabytes of storage, right, on these new iPad Pros. So if you're somebody like me who wants to go all the way in on iPad, man, let me see what the price is on that. Let's check it out. So if we want a top of the line iPad Pro in space gray with 2 terabytes, woo, just the Wi-Fi is 2200. Wow, that is up there with any other MacBook Pro. That is big boy status for anybody trying to do that. You got a 12.9-inch iPad with space gray, 2 terabytes, and Wi-Fi. If we go back and let's see here, we want to do it with Wi-Fi and cellular. You're looking at about $2,400 for the big boy. That's quite steep for somebody investing on an iPad if you are somebody who likes to always upgrade your iPads. And so it's hard to say if that is the recommended thing that I would recommend anybody for going all the way in. If you have, $2,500 for the best iPad ever, yeah, you're going to get an incredible machine that you're going to be able to use for a long time. Um, I don't know. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But you got to know that I'm using the M1 Mac Mini. That's what I'm talking to you guys, right? And this is the base model. This is 8 gigabytes of RAM, 250 gigabytes of storage. And yeah, it's, ugh, yeah, this Mac Mini is really holding it down for $699 as far as the capabilities of an M1 processor. So the biggest thing you're gonna have to think about to yourself is what type of space do you need and what type of device are you really looking for, right? Let me go back to these comments. So yeah, I know the colors. I think a lot of people wanted more colors within the iPad. Man, I think Love Deluxe. You're gonna need a lot of more money yeah, you're really up there, and it's competing with a top of the line MacBook Pro. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that with what we have here with these new iPad Pros, even the start, let's go back and change all of this to saying instead of 2 terabytes, we can get, let's just say 256. I would recommend if you're going with any iPad this year, at least get 256 gigabytes of storage so that you're not capped out if you're trying to do music production, if you're trying to do video editing, if you're trying to continuously, use this as a device for, your career or YouTube or anything like this. Um, and yes, the XDR new display is not on the 11 inch, it's only on the 12.9. But what I am seeing is this is giving way more capabilities for the developers. Specifically, the only other thing that I didn't really touch on yet is the fact that it now has Thunderbolt connectivity. So if you want to connect this thing to an external display, if you want to connect multiple hard drives, if you want to connect, multiple things, keyboards and hard drives and displays and all of that, and you want to hook this up like you would hook up a MacBook Pro, you now can with these new iPads, these new iPad Pros, whether it's the 11 inch or the 12.9. So the question is, will we be able to see updated apps from, Lumafusion, or from, people like Beatmaker, Intua, some like even maybe hopefully Logic. Maybe we can get the ability to run, your hard drives, be able to run files off your hard drives with maybe iOS 15 or 14. Yeah, I think that, we're going to have to wait till WWDC in June. And I think that Apple is, saying that you can, pre-order this April 30th, right? Any of these new products that they just announced, all of them will be available for order April 30th, but they won't be shipping till mid-May. So we're looking at, mid-May for these products to come out, right? And then WWDC coming out after that, right? We're going to be able to see what these developers and what Apple is thinking about, right around the corner. So even if you get one of these devices, right, within a month's time, hopefully you'll be able to check out some of the beta of what's going to come with the new with the new iOS and iPad OS when it comes to the to the software. So I'm really hoping that we'll see a way better way to use files, file management, Logic Pro, Final Cut Pro. I don't know if they're gonna really. They were really pumping LumaFusion, and I use LumaFusion, and I love LumaFusion. So I don't know if they're going to really provide that much access for the iPad to have Final Cut Pro. I don't know. They're really pushing LumaFusion, and I think maybe LumaFusion is going to come with a big update, like I saw, and we're going to be able to see what's happening. Let me go back to the chat and see what's going on, y'all. Sorry, I'm just trying to give y'all an update. Big G Tech Life, thank you for the super chat, brother. It says here, I just bought, my M1 MacBook Pro and have a 2020 iPad 11 Pro. I'm confused and frustrated. I feel you, brother. The big thing here is if you just purchased a new iPad, if you just purchased a new, Mac, I don't think you're going to have any issues with what you have going on. The if you're having a great experience so far with the 2020 iPad Pro, you're probably not going to see too much difference. I know there's going to be a big power increase. They're talking about it's up to 50%, more powerful than this model that I have right here. But I don't think that we're going to see, that big of a difference within the next 6 to 9 months, because you got to think, the full developed iPad OS probably won't be coming till the fall. And right, so we're already looking at 4, 5, 6 months away from that. And then from there, you're going to have to see updates to see how they're going to introduce some of this new software. So, these 2020 iPads are still going to work well. These 2018 iPads are going to work well. So if you're somebody who is looking to buy a new iPad for what it can do right now, I can still say that a 2018 and a 2020, Steve, super chat. Thank you, bro. Wow. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all the love. I really want to go in and talk about why we should get one iPad over the other, right? Because we're looking at situations now, and you have the iPad, the original, that's about 300. Let's look at all the iPads that we have now, right? We have the iPad Pro, that's new, right? We have the new iPad Air, which is about the same size as the iPad 11 inch, right? You have the iPad, and then you have the iPad mini. So if we compare all of these models, man, You can get up to, with the iPad Air, the only thing that you're going to really have an issue with is storage if you need more than 256 gigabytes, right? The iPad Pro can go all the way up to 202 terabytes of storage, and the original iPad can go up to 128 gigabytes of storage. So, if you're somebody who is looking to figure out which iPad you need, let's talk storage and what you're doing first, right? Because if you're somebody who wants to record and edit 4K video, man, you're going to need a little bit more storage than 256 gigabytes, right? If you're somebody who, because over time it just eats up, unless over time we're going to be able to see the ability to use, hard drives externally to work with your iPad. We're just going to have to wait and see. Um, Let me go back to some of these comments. The comments are going crazy. Yo, Jervin Diaz, thank you for the super chat as well. Steve Payman, thank you for the super chat. When will the pen and keyboard be the same as the 12.9 2020 version? I believe so. It doesn't seem like they're using the anything different, right? With the keyboard did get updated with a different colorway, right? We saw the new Magic Keyboard in a white, and so I don't know, a white keyboard that you're touching and putting your fingers on all the time. I don't know if it's going to have a different coating, but I can tell you right now, my black version gets really smudged, gets really greasy, and you have to wipe it down all the time to keep it looking nice. So the pencil looks like it's the same. They didn't talk about a new pencil, so we have the same pencil, and yeah. So I edit with Lumafusion, and I do all my videos. I do everything that I bring to YouTube on on my iPad, and man, I don't really have an issue with Lumafusion and getting everything that you've seen for the last 3 years on my channel has been using my iPad Pro of some variant and Lumafusion, and so I think with Lumafusion, who knows? Lumafusion 3 possibly? Are we going to see the ability to, get these hard drives to be able to work externally, now that we have Thunderbolt connectivity, because that's the big thing that you need. Once you think about size and how much size you need, you want to think about the type of connectivity, right? Because we have the iPad Air, which has USB Type C. We have the iPad Pros 2020 and 2018, which have USB Type C, right? Then you have the iPad and the iPad Mini, which still have Lightning. Now, if you have a lot of Lightning connections and you want to have a lot of, you don't want to have to switch up your peripherals and stuff like that, cool, it's all good. What you want to do is think about the iPad or the iPad Mini, and you can still be able to do a lot with Lumafusion, with music production and the like. Now, if you want to move up to USB Type C and you start using USB Type C peripherals and different hard drives and ways to connect faster speeds, you're going to want to look at the iPad Air 2020, the iPad Pro 2018, and the iPad Pro 2020. Now with Thunderbolt, you're going to be able to have full-on external um, external support for your displays. If you want to connect an external monitor, you're going to have that full support, which is going to be so clutch for you to be able to use this even more with a mouse and keyboard like you would a traditional iPad and a traditional Mac. So Thunderbolt is going to be crucial if that's what you want to do. And if you want to be a little bit more future proof, I'm thinking, you want to go ahead and step into that iPad with Thunderbolt connectivity, which is the new iPad Pros 2021. So, man, I'm hyped though. I'm hyped. Let's shout out everybody back up in here. Shazam, what's up? Alice, what's up? Benjamin Namiris, what's up? Rufus, what's up? Dan, Nicholas James, man, William. So many people still checking in. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, man, B Adams, thank you again for the super chat one time. Um, Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys coming back because I was super frustrated with them kicking me off of my live earlier. It is what it is. You get copyright strikes all the time. I've seen it over the last year with DJs trying to go live on their, on Instagram and things of that nature. So when you're trying to use, copyrighted material, it can get a little tricky. Terry Warfield, what's up, my brother? I'm definitely going to have to see which version I want because I want to try this new screen. I want to try everything that is being offered. And knowing me, let me see. I'm gonna show y'all exactly how much I'm using on my iPad right now. Right now, at this present time, out of my 1 terabyte 2020 iPad, let's see, I'm using 722 gigabytes out of 1 terabyte, and you can see that I'm using almost 400 gigabytes of Lumafusion. I have almost 50 gigabytes in BeatMaker 3. I have almost 20 gigabytes of in BeatMaker 2, 15 gigabytes in Cubasis. So, as you want to be able to do more and more with your iPad, you're going to want to be able to, you want to be able to get as much as you want out of your iPad for years to come. And so the fact that they have the M1 processor, the fact that we have, Thunderbolt connectivity and this new display only in the 12.9 is really bringing me back to that 12.9 again, which uh, I don't know if I want it. I don't know. That screen looks crazy, right, Tova? The screen looks absolutely insane. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, Terry. I'm gonna have to get the 12.9 just to see, but will I need that 2 terabyte, or can I be good with the 1 terabyte? That's my dilemma right now. Is what's going on, Donnell? Thank you for the super chat one time, man. Per flying in the Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for everybody. Oh, thank everybody for joining in. Let's really figure out what's the best for everybody. So, like I said, if you need a new iPad right now, the first thing that you should think about is how much storage, and the second thing you need to think about is what type of connectivity. Um, Man, oh, 16 gigabytes of RAM, Rob B. Yes, that's a huge. I totally missed that. Let me go back and let me see if I can see if that's confirmed or not. But man, it's good to be in the iPad world, knowing that this it's up to the developers now, right? We're seeing that they're giving us everything. 12.9, 2 terabytes of storage, possibly 16 gigabytes of RAM, a liquid XDR, a screen, all in a tablet that can go with you wherever you go, and it's always on and it always backs up to the cloud. We're gonna have to see, what these developers come with, because not only Apple but all these other developers, they're gonna have to be able to step up to this type of power. But it's there, right? I mean, the crown is already there. They put that crown above all these developers' heads and say, "Reach up and get to the crown," because man, I'm telling you, if we can get more developers to get way more power out of these iPads with their apps, we're going to see an incredible experience within the next year or so. So, I don't think that you're going to do yourself any, service by getting one of these new iPad Pros, even if, you can only afford the 128 version of these new iPad Pros. Let's go back to the pricing again. Let me show you. So for instance, if you can't afford the 12.9 and you want to go to, the 11 inch, maybe you want it in the silver, right? And let's go all the way to 128, it's $1,000. But with $1,000, you can get the best new iPad. The only thing that is really missing is that new screen, right? And this screen on the 2020 iPads, I haven't really had any issues with it at all. So the biggest thing you're going to be able to have is an iPad that is super powerful and may possibly be able to have external hard drive support. If we can do that with some of these apps, we're going to be able to see what's going on. Yes. So I'm really waiting now to see what's going to happen with WWDC, because, that's right around the corner. And I know that Apple is slowly preparing everybody for more powerful situations. Man, yes, Augusto. It has been in the gym all pandemic. I am right there with you. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Man, so let's see, if you had $7.99 for, Rick is saying $7.99 for 256 gigabytes or $7.99 for 128 gigabyte 2021. Like I said, Rick, what is your need for storage? If you are doing content like I'm doing and you want to do 4K and you want to do a lot more with your iPad, 128 gigabytes is going to not necessarily give you that. What did I do wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this was Wi-Fi plus cellular when I talked about the iPad 11. The iPad, I would always go up a notch with your storage. Honestly, 256 is the sweet spot for a lot of us. So if you can afford it at $899, Wi-Fi only, that's what I would recommend for anybody looking to get a new iPad Pro 2021 if you're in a limited budget. I would sacrifice $1,000 because this is $899 plus tax, and you're going to be looking at, man. You're going to be really looking at a great device with 256 gigabytes of storage. You see how this is how I record all my YouTube videos. I'll just keep talking and then I'll chop it down and I'll re-say things over and over. Sometimes that's what you got to do. I mess up all the time. Let me keep going. $1,000 will get you 256 gigabytes, new iPad Pro 2021, Wi-Fi only in the 11-inch version. And man, you'll have Thunderbolt. You'll have a great display. You'll have that new screen. You'll have the new cameras. That's what I would recommend for most people. Hands down, that's what I'm saying right now. And yes, if you have my man G Brown, yes, man, if you have an iPad with an older iPad, you can always see how much you can get for the trade-in, and it's always good to look into that because you can save a couple $100 just to be able to get into these new iPads. And I think they're really going to these new iPad Pros. Let me be specific here. Man, it's really going to be a difference. What we're going to see, it's really up to these developers. Let's make it clear. It's really up to the developers this year to be able to, step up and give us those apps that can handle all of this power. Because now we have the same iPads, we have the same processor in these iPads as we do in all of these new M1 Max, right? Sorry, I be talking. I got to get this water. Uh, Nate Dixon, let me know if you are selling your old ones. I probably will. I don't know which ones. I have 3 iPad. I have a lot of iPads over here to be real. All my family has iPad Pros. We're iPad Pro family, but man, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and figure out exactly which one I'm going to need. But for most people, like I said, this is the configuration I would recommend. The 11-inch iPad Pro in silver or space gray with 256 gigabytes for about $1,000 plus tax with tax. It's $899. We'll probably rough it around, just give it $1,000. And yeah, you're going to be able to do a lot with that. And you'll be able to use that for years upon years. So that's what I would recommend. For these power users, I would definitely try to see if you can afford the 12.9. But here's the deal. If you have an iPad that's if you've already used an iPad that has over 512 gigabytes of storage, and you're really up there with the amount of storage that you're using, let's see what happens. Like 1 terabyte now is $17.99. That's basically what it was last year. For 1 terabyte, if you need 512 gigabytes, it's about 1,400. And for these power users, those who really want to color accuracy as well as everything, you're going to probably want to look at that 12.9. And Tarun Singh, hey, what's going on? Do you think that, the iPad will be willing, the iPad will get some of these apps from the Mac? That could be crazy, right? If we can use some of these same apps, but it's really up to these developers to see how this is all going to work, because there's a difference in coding. And I've heard from developers myself that even porting, the apps that you have on your iPad to a Mac is quite difficult because it's a difference in the coding in the way that, you have to develop these apps. So, Serena says, what if I buy, let me put that up on the screen one time. What if I buy the base storage iPad, for example, 128, and upgrade my storage later in the cloud? I want to use the iPad as a laptop replacement for a single daily use in drawing in Procreate. I think for your use case, if you're just doing, a drawing, and, you're not doing like a lot of video editing, music production, things that are going to have a lot of file sizes to the files, right? Whether it's, your WAV files or your video files or anything like that, right? If you're just doing drawing, if you're, drawing and you have a cloud account, I think that's perfect for people who are not into video production, for people who are not into, music production. You can get the base model and it'll still work great, and you'll still be able to hook that up to, something like an external display, and you'll be able to connect it to, external devices and back things up that way as well to the cloud. So yeah, I think that would be great. Is it worth the upgrade? That just asked. And if you have the 2020 model, is it worth the upgrade? I wow, I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's going to be up to the developers to see what we can do with the new version of iPad OS coming later on this year. Because I don't, if you have a 2020 model or later, right, a 2020 model or iPad Air, and you don't necessarily need Thunderbolt connectivity to connect to external displays, connect external devices with faster throughputs, if with whatever, or you need the best display with the, Retina XDR. Geez, I forgot exactly how they're calling it. Or, if you don't need these new updated cameras, they got this new center stage with this wide field of view with, all of that. Man, I don't think you're gonna need to upgrade unless you're a super pro user and you really want to see all that's being offered. But if you're the type of person who upgrades every year on your iPhone and you want the best of the best, yes, it's gonna be worth it to you, right? It's gonna be worth it. And if you're somebody like me who likes to talk all things iPad and build, your content on YouTube based around iOS, iPad OS, it can be an investment in that way because you can do so many videos based off of that investment, right? So you can do, you can spend I don't know, 1,000, 1,200, $1,500 on one of these new iPads, and then do videos talking about your experience with that iPad and all the things that you're doing, and start to build an audience, and then start to build funding and everything for a business for just talking about this iPad that you like to use. So I don't know. It's really up to you. Man, let me go back to the chat. Sorry if I missed a lot of y'all. I'm just trying to give y'all my thoughts, and yeah, and but thank you all for continuously to join in. I think that yes, if you have a 2000 everything Apple Tech is saying, yo, if you have an iPad Pro 2018-22, the new 2021 model is the best new update. Yes, for sure. If you have a 2018 iPad Pro and you're starting to see it be a little sluggish with some of the apps, because you got to realize that, as these app developers continuously upgrade their apps, they're a lot of times, making sure that it can run as well with the older iPads, but run extremely well with the newer iPads. So you want to be able to make sure that you can, go ahead and upgrade for that, just over time being able to have enough experience with it over the years. So if you're somebody who's had one for a couple of years and you're looking to upgrade, see how much you can get for, a trade-in, and think about the storage you need, think about the connectivity you need, and see what works for you. Um, but it's also about, what other, say for instance you're in music and you want to get you know the great, some of these better interfaces to be able to connect to, these new iPads. Let's look for Shure, let's look for Apogee, let's look for IK Multimedia, let's look for, Audient and some of these other developers to come out with devices that work even better. Rode, right? All of these hardware developers to get even better ways for us to, connect with the iPad to do even more things, right? I love this new thought about center stage, right? Apple's coming out with center stage on their new front facing camera. Let me see if I can pull that up. And it's a 120 film 120 field of view. And it allows the person to stay in the center regardless of where you're at in the frame. It keeps the person in the center of the field of view. And I think that is only going to make it even better for those who like to just, use your iPad for virtual, for school, for education, whether you're teaching or whether you're learning or whether, you're just having FaceTime calls. You're going to be able to have even more an immersive experience. And I think that's one of the things. Another reason that you're going to really love these new iPads. I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring this up here. Let me pull that up here. So as you can see, right, this new thing called Center Stage is giving a very wide field of view so that you're able to let me show that again. Whether you move from left to the room, right to the room, it's going to keep you in frame on FaceTime. I'm not sure if it's going to work with all the apps yet. I think some of these other apps are going to have to be upgraded. But man, it's looking like something that is going to be great for people to really use for video conferencing. So yeah. Yeah. So there is no. Nicholas James said, "Too bad, iOS does not have user profiles." Um, you want to be able to have, if you invest in this for like a family or for multiple people, it would be great to be able to have user profiles so that everybody could use it. But let's wait and see what happens with WWDC. And I say a lot saying let's wait for WWDC because now that the power, right? Now that everything is as powerful as these Macs with these iPad Pros, let's see exactly where this development is going to happen in the software. Yeah, I don't know exactly. Some people are confirming or trying to confirm that it's 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you this. I had said it just earlier on in the chat. I have my Mac Mini that I'm using to go 4K on this live stream right now, and it's the base Mac Mini with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, and it's holding everything that I'm doing like a charm. I'm running my Sony A7C with my 20 millimeter 1.8 lens, going through a cam link. All of this thing is happening using the M1 processor and 8 gigabytes of RAM. So if it only had 8 gigabytes of RAM, I know it's still super powerful to be able to do most of the things that you need. And so as far as pre-ordering, they said that you can pre-order April 30th, and it'll be delivered mid-May. So they didn't give a specific date on when it will be delivered or be shipped, but I know that you can order it April 30th, and yeah, it'll be delivered mid-May. Let me go back to a lot of these comments so we can talk a little bit more. Man, yeah, I really think that the sky's the limit, and for these new iPads because they're really taking it up a notch to be able to say, you know what? Hey, we're gonna throw everything at it. Micah, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Oh, okay, boom. He said Apple's website is confirming 16 gigabytes of RAM for the 1 and 2 terabyte models. Thank you, brother. And So there's that, right? We have confirmed that if you get 1 terabyte or more, you're going to get 16 gigabytes of RAM on these new iPad Pros. So, yes, it is quite the investment. If we go all the way back to pricing again, that's going to run you, even if you're in the 11-inch and you have 1 terabyte. Can anybody confirm if it's the 11-inch and the 12.9, or is it just the 12.9? I'm not sure. I'm trying to give my details to y'all as fast as possible. So if you use the 11-inch, it is let's see here, with 1 terabyte of storage, that's $14.99. If it's the 12.9-inch version, you're looking at $17.99. So yeah, it's definitely something you want to think about when you want to think about the RAM and the ability for you to, you know, go and do as much as you can. So how much, what's your budget? What's your budget? Let's start there, right? What type of connectivity do you need? Do you need Lightning? Do you need USB-C? Do you need Thunderbolt, right? What type of storage do you need? Do you need a lot more or less? It really depends on what you're doing and what you'll be doing for the next, I would say, 1 to 2 years, because every 2 years there's a super leap in the iPad, right? I've seen it ever since I've been using the iPad Pro. Every 2 years, something crazy comes along that makes the iPad so much more powerful. So, think of this as a 2 year investment and figure out a way if you can invest that for two years. So, um, for me, I'll probably go ahead and get the 12.9, most likely the 1 terabyte again. I don't know if I need the 2 terabyte, but it looks it looks kind of clutch. So, yeah, man. Yeah, DJ and said I think it would be dope for live streaming. Think about it if you're a DJ, right? If you want to be able to, have all of your music downloaded on this iPad, you're going to need a lot more storage. So you want to be able to make sure that, you have everything already downloaded. And if you're live streaming and you're doing things, that it's already there on that device. So yeah, I think, investing in something like the 1 terabyte is a good idea. Man, let me keep going. um, so no, there is no Logic. Can you install Logic on the iPad Pro? Not as of yet, but like I said before, let's wait till WWDC and see what Apple brings as far as iPad OS, the ability to possibly run Mac apps. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same infrastructure or not. But we're going to. I definitely see within the next couple of months we're going to be seeing Apple integrate some way the iPad and the Mac even more seamlessly with the way that we can use specific software. Because we need some of these Mac features. I doubt it that we're going to get any type of running the Mac on the iPad, but hopefully we'll get an updated version of Files. Hopefully we'll get an updated version of iPad OS where you'll be able to do a lot more. And yeah, you'll be able to do things just like you would with a Mac when it comes to your connectivity and creativity. So, but yeah, there's also a lot of other things, that I was hype about with this event, right? Like if we go back and look at all the things that were being offered, right? We have the new iMac 24-inch, right? We got the new iPhone in purple. We got these AirTags, and we have that new Apple TV with the A12 processor. So, man, it's so much to take in, but like I said, I'm the an iPad Pro guy. I want to make sure that when we're talking iPads and everything that we should get, that's what I like to focus on because that's what I want my content to be about because that's what I'm using every day. I will be picking up a new Apple TV and checking that out. I think that's cool. I'm glad they finally updated that remote. That remote was always trash. Um, Man, I'm glad that they're updated the iMac. I think that's a great family device. I think that is one of I think that's one of those devices that you can definitely use for everyday use for the family and for a household. Sean Montz, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you, man. I truly appreciate all the love and support from everybody who's commenting and being engaging on the chat. C Squad, man, thank you so much, C Squad. Man, I swear I really enjoy going live, even even though it makes my mouth super dry. I appreciate y'all. I want to make sure that everybody gets, a lot of these questions answered. So Starlight asked, do you think the 8 gigabytes of RAM will be enough for future proof for mainly graphic work on the 12.9 Procreate and a lot of layers? If you've been using Procreate thus far, right? What issues have you ran into? Have you been running into your iPad becoming sluggish, right? Have you been running into your iPad, glitching and your apps crashing? If not, then, for the next couple of years, I think that you're still going to find 8 gigabytes of RAM fine. Now, if you're really going hard and you're starting to see your iPad really start to if you're working with super amounts of layers. But we got to think about this is the new M1 chip as well, not just the RAM, but the new chip. So think about that when it comes to the processing capabilities of your iPad. You're going to be able to do a lot more with it, and I know that even with 8 gigabytes of RAM, you're going to be fine. And I would say that because hey, for the most part, I think we've only gotten up to 6 gigabytes of RAM in every iPad thus far. So, shoot, they have 16 gigabytes of RAM going forward. It's just going to make this iPad scream. And it's going to be really crazy to see exactly what's going to happen in the years coming because I truly believe that, the iPad and tablets and the way that we're doing things on these devices is the way of the future. So yeah, man, everything Apple Tech is saying, I need to be Team 2 terabyte. I know. Let me think about that and see if I want to spend that type of money on these new iPads. But I'll tell y'all right now, if you just get, like I said, the iPad 11 inch, 200, the new iPad Pro 2021, 11 inch, 256 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, 256 gigabytes of storage. You're gonna be able to do so much with that for a few years to come, and I truly believe that. So yo, what up? What up? What else is going on? And um, Stacy is asking, why don't you think there isn't an Apple Pencil 3? I don't know. I think that maybe that's something that they can just, they didn't need to. Maybe they're still working on that. Maybe they're working on the ability to, do a lot more with your Apple Pencil. I think, for me, since I've gotten the Magic Keyboard, I haven't used my Apple Pencil as much over the last for because I'm not an artist, right? I don't draw as much, and I don't use the scribble feature as much. I just like either doing dictation for my notes or typing my notes in. So I think a lot of the capabilities of being on the iPad, and having all the ways that you can go and and really fill out the way that you want to be able to use your iPad. They can easily bring out the Apple Pencil 3, and it can just be something that just comes on the website. So maybe we can look out for that soon. Yeah. Man. Let's see here. Can I supplement a 250 gigabytes of storage? Daniel is saying, can I supplement a 256 gigabyte storage with an SSD for video creation? Only for backup right now, right? I'm really hoping that the new versions of Lumafusion, right, that will you'll be able to use these new iPad Pros and run files off of SSD drives. That's what I'm truly hoping. If that's the case, then I still recommend something like 256 gigabytes of storage will do you super well on any iPad. So yeah, man, there's so much going on, and the one thing that I am so not sure about is the white Magic Keyboard. I just don't know if I don't know. Let's see if they come out with a new layers, new way to protect it, or new way to not make it so smudgy. Because that's the only thing that I'm definitely not going to pick up. So yeah, man, a couple more questions and I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, I thank you guys all so much. I wanted to give you my feedback, and once I definitely want to say thank you for everybody joining back in the chat, because I was really looking forward to being super hyped for the event. You know what I mean? Going live with y'all and then doing a recap right after. But of course, I guess I can't do that, and I'll have to figure out other ways to go live when to do a live of a live, and we're gonna have to wait and see for that. But man, I promise, I'm gonna be here with more videos. I'm definitely gonna pick up the new iPad Pro. Still not sure which version I'm gonna get, but it'll probably be the 12.9, 1 terabyte, to check out and see what's going on. And we will definitely give you more videos on that. And if you are want to do more of these types of things, on my Patreon, we do a weekly chat similar to like this, but it's on on Zoom, and so that I can meet those who are part of my Patreon community. I definitely want to plug that one time because I'm starting to build that up, and I love to have interactions, not just from a chat, but from a full-on Zoom where I can see people's faces and I can actually hear you guys and you can hear me as well. So that's one of the things that I'm also doing. Let me get a couple more questions answered and then we're gonna hop off. But man, that was a great keynote, and I was super hyped for it. Yes, it was crazy. Okay, so Mohammed is asking, who should buy the 12.9 version, and is it going to be a huge difference than an 11 inch? So, from my experience, I started out with the 12.9 inch, right? And or the 12. whatever the first iPad Pro was. And then when it came to the 2018 version, I got the 12.9 inch, and I enjoyed it. Right, it was. I didn't think of it as being, big or too bulky for me to carry around. All of that, right? It was more so about it was able for me to get the work done, and the screen size was great. But my younger brother, he had the 11 inch, and the more that I looked at it, the more that I saw how portable it was, and the fact that over the last year, being in the pandemic, being at the house, carrying an iPad around the house, I like the idea of having just the 11 inch for size and just moving around. And so I got the 2020 version of the iPad Pro in the 11 inch, and I can tell you it's lighter. It's not as bulky, but my wife and my son both still have the 12.9 inch versions, and they don't really fuss about it at all. So I think it's whatever you're going to get used to, right? Because over time, at first it might feel like, oh, it's so much heavier than this other one, but will it be able to do more for you? And so the fact that the XDR Retina display is only on the 12.9, I'm gonna have to see what the difference is to be able to see just how better the screen is from the 2020 version, because that's what you're getting for the 12.9, and then everything else will be pretty much the same. So yeah, I think over time, if you commit to a 12.9, you're not going to be mad about it, and it's going to give you the screen real estate to be able to do a lot more. Patrick Chain, what's up? uh Lessa June, what's up? Jay Newton Wright, what's up? Man, who asks? What's up, Akeem? Thank you, man, for joining back in. Dim Beats Production. Thank you, Callie, Sajin, Smeet, DJ, Sean, JCU, Clay, everything Apple Tech, Muhammad, Sanjay. Man, Maja XO, Viper Gaming. I just want to say thank you guys to everybody. David Bitton, Juan. Thank you guys all for joining in. I'm gonna answer one more question, and then I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, man, I think that overall, like I said, if you're looking for an iPad Pro 2020 and you're trying to be a little bit more budget conscious right now, I would recommend the iPad Pro 11 inch, 256 gigabytes of storage. And that would be the one that I would recommend for most people. And I think that will give you the best of the new technology without getting into, $1,500 or more. So, yeah. But thank you guys all for joining in. Man, I'm going to have to hop off and get to some other things. But look out for more content on these new iPads, everything I got going on. And like I said, continue to support, those that support you. And I thank you all for jumping back in. And I'm sorry again for the not being able to live alive. You know what I mean? We're going to figure that out next time. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Head 'em out!